turn this levels down. Alright, I see some peeps in the live stream. We got 34 viewers currently. Hope you guys were enjoying those beats. Courtesy of Tana So Lit. Only friend of the show. A big shout out to Pegasus Chroniki. I think. Chronicle, maybe? I don't know. He said, keep stream open to the public. It is. Usually what I do is I take them down after they're done, I edit, and then I re-upload for the sake of creating quality replay. I hope you guys understand. I have to do what is best for my channel. I hope you understand. Appreciate the support, though, Mr. or Mrs. Pegasus. I don't know. Let's see here. Verizon, a good option to switch to now with the $504 BYOD offers active, or wait for May 15th announcement. Well, I don't think the May 15th announcement is going to change anything for you, so go ahead and do what you got to do. Definitely is a good deal, for sure. Ooh, what do we got here? Kazi in the house. Zero Cool. Michael West. May the 4th be with you, my friend. Yeah, appreciate the super chat, Pegasus. I say go ahead and do it. I think Verizon has the best BYOD promo right now, so go ahead and pull the trigger on that deal. Who knows how long they run it. Verizon has been known to drop promos and then pull them and then bring them back and pull them, so if you want it, take it. You know? Oof, oof, oof. Let's see here. Alright, we're like 10 minutes in. This is good. This is a good place to kind of start here. Alright, we are golden. Yeah, happy, what is this? May the 4th be with you, so happy May 4th. There you go. Alright, I see my video is feeding. I think the audio is good. Nobody told me I had any audio issues. Let's roll with that. To kind of get the first topic started, I went ahead and did a poll. I'm just curious to get the vibes on the community. How you guys kind of view, you know, Google and like activity within your area and kind of like within your life, right? Like some people love technology and they love the concept of advancements that are going to help them in like a local and regional implication type of way. So like to me, you know, when I cover this story here, I'm going to show you guys what it's about and I'll explain it. And I'll tell you why I'm excited how it's coming to Ohio, but you might have a different thought process. I don't know. But real quick, I do want to say hello to some people. I want to do big hellos to all of my members. YouTube members, y'all are the goats. Thank you for supporting. Also, big shouts out to the Patreon crew, all my patrons for supporting. You know, the YouTube members, the patron supporters, you guys are really the reason why the content continues to flow through this channel. You know, if you are enjoying, loving the content, the frequency, the types of content, the live streaming, it's because of folks like you all. It's the YouTube members and the patrons who make content possible. They allow me to test the networks, to create the content, to stream. I am absolutely motivated to make this type of content because of you guys. Now, I know that there's some people who are not active within the community. There's people that don't watch the live streams. There's people that don't comment. There's people that don't rate the video. They can't be bothered. Right? There are some people who watch my content and don't subscribe. It's no sweat off on my back. I don't mind. However you consume the content is your business. But I want to give special shout outs and tokens of appreciation to those that support their creators directly. So when you see members only live streams for live chat, there's a reason why. They deserve the attention. They're willing to support their creators directly. And it's very easy to support your creators, right? you can get benefits from supporting your creators, like additional live streams, additional podcasts, ad-free podcasts. You guys know that if you're a Patreon supporter, you can get all these files, all these live streams, no ads. That is one of the perks. You get extra podcasts and live streams on Patreon and through the YouTube membership. $1. So to show your appreciation for your creators' efforts, it's as simple as that. The creators just want to know that you support them, and they will make the content for you. You know what I mean? Appreciate it, Bryant. Yep. And then, yeah, like Trex is saying, I do a panel discussion on Patreon like 3 times a month. You know, and life's busy, and I get it. Not everybody can be on there, but I like to offer it to people. So there's so much going on with the channel. There's so many different things we do, you know, and I just want to make you guys aware of it, you know. So big shout out to the patrons, the members. Big shout out to all my mods. Appreciate everybody out there with the blue wrenches holding it down. Thank you for keeping things kosher. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and actually jump into the first story, shall we? And this one was kind of like I was saying before. I wanted to kind of get the vibes. You guys can actually vote on the live stream there within the live chat. You know, would you like to see Google build data centers in your state of residence? Yes or no? You tell me. Make your vote count. And then we'll check this out after the story. All right, Google to build 2 more data centers in Ohio. Story from Catherine Nin. Data centers will support the development of artificial intelligence technology and other tools, according to Google. 2 more data centers in Ohio, Google says, will support the AI tech. And it looks like the investment will be to the tune of $2 billion. November of 2019, Google began the construction of a $600 million data center in New Albany, Ohio. I don't even know where that is. I've never even heard of New Albany. New data centers also coming to Columbus and Lancaster. So I guess that's 3 data centers in Ohio. According to Google's head of government affairs in the U.S. To put that in perspective, we have data centers in 13 states, 9 countries, and we'll have 3 operational data centers right here in central Ohio. Ooh, okay, so they got a map. One of the first tech companies to recognize Central Ohio's potential. I love it. All right, so if it's Central Ohio, it might be around Columbus there. Facebook in 2020, Amazon in 2023 established data centers in and around Columbus. I know Amazon has a presence here in the Cleveland area as well. Actually, this is pretty awesome because Intel's building in Ohio as well. So that's pretty cool. $20 billion chip factory just east of Columbus. Honda envisions Cincinnati as its North American electric vehicle hub. Dang, a lot of good things happen in Ohio. Hey, see, this is what I like to see. I like to see my state winning. Ohio winning, folks. All right, so make your vote count. What do you guys think? I got the poll for you there. Would you like to see Google build data centers in your state of residence? I vote yes. I know everybody's different, so I vote yes. Oops, I got this. I wanted to look. My bad, folks. There we go. Let me go ahead and close out the poll. Can I do that from here? Make those votes count. We got 36 votes. Let's see what you guys have to say. Let us see. What did the nation say? The nation says 80% say yes. 19% say no. Okay. All right, big shout out to Steven. Thanks for the super chat. Also a member. Thank you. Microsoft is building data centers too. Nice. Yeah, David. Ohio getting lots of love. It's really easy to do things here. You know what I mean? Very easy. You don't get a whole gang of red tape. You don't get a bunch of entities and municipalities really standing in your way. So it's easy sledding for companies. Yeah, Trex, it's going to be huge for network performance as well. Absolutely. And see, that's the thing. I'm one of those types of people, man. Give me the performance. Give me the benefits. Yeah, so I'm all for this. Absolutely am. This is great. Very happy about this. Let's go ahead and transition to the next story. But first, if you're looking to support the SMT, you guys want to help out the channel. You want to be an active supporter of the channel. One of the things that you could do is buy the SMT a coffee and get yourself a special shout out. You'll be directly supporting your creators. The Buy Me a Coffee link is in the description. We've been using that platform as a form of support. So link in the description for that. And don't forget, we've got this partnership with our wireless partner, Mint Mobile. If you guys are looking for a good deal from your wireless provider, right, you really can't do much better than Mint. They just increased all of the data allotments on all their plans, and they didn't touch pricing. All right, so why is that important? You've got an industry where prices are increasing. Look what T-Mobile just did. They made 2 new plans, and they got rid of the value on the old ones, and they raised pricing. Right? You got Verizon and AT&T who have historically raised prices on existing plans or legacy plans. Mint Mobile goes the other way. They give you 20, 30, 40, 50% more data, and they don't even change the pricing. Right? So they're looking to give you value. This is why we stand with Mint Mobile. This is why I've selected them to be the channel's partner, because they can give you guys good deals, and they're going to give you good customer care with that value. You really can't beat it. Link in the description is the unique partner link. You guys will use it. You'll save money, and then you'll be helping out the channel. All right, let's transition to this next story here. Just my seat. Verizon news. Veterans Affairs extend public safety partnership. Oh, didn't T-Mobile just ink a deal with the VA? I guess T-Mobile wasn't enough. They needed something else, so they went to Verizon for it. Let's see what this is about. Verizon will supply Veterans Affairs, or the VA, with mobile devices and mission-critical communication support. As part of a new $448 million 9-year agreement, Verizon will supply devices through Verizon Frontline, mission-critical communication support during VA's disaster recovery missions, and other emergencies. Guys, the reason why Verizon was pegged for this is because they have a legitimate first responder network. Like, I get it. AT&T, FirstNet, I got it. Totally understand. That is the traditional mandatory FirstNet, first responder network. But before it was AT&T, it was Verizon, and it still is Verizon. There are people that are on the Verizon network that are first responders that refuse to go to AT&T's FirstNet. There's a reason, because there are places where Verizon is the answer. All right, so all the doom and gloom about Verizon not knowing what the hell they're doing, and the network is unusable and all this, we all know it's overstated, and it's all this horrible stuff going on at Verizon. It's just not the case. There's still really solid developments happen there for the business. The agreement allows the VA to purchase devices and services for community-based outpatient clinics, field and program offices, remote users in the U.S. Verizon can also support the VA's broader network objectives, such as wider adoption of MEC, mobile edge compute, and software-defined wide area networks, or SD-WAN technology. Verizon has a long-standing partnership with the U.S. Department of VA, including connecting the first fully 5G-connected hospital at the VA facility in Palo Alto, and the VA Video Connect telehealth service, which provides 80,000 veterans with free, unlimited access to healthcare consultations. Hey, Verizon continues to win in agency. They continue to win in government. That's Verizon. So maybe you don't like what they're doing on the consumer side. Maybe it's not your cup of tea. Maybe you're looking for something else. Fine. But at least understand the reason why Verizon finds the success with business and agency and government is because they have a very robust network, and they have business and enterprise and agency grade solutions. You really can't touch Verizon with stuff like this. AT&T does a pretty nice job, and we know that T-Mobile's trying to bust in the door and get some of these types of accounts. But Verizon they are the bee's knees when it comes to stuff like this. All right, let's go to the next story. Last story from Verizon. And this one's just going to be a quick hit. I won't say too much about it. And I kind of want to move quickly through these stories to get to some other stuff. Verizon's Nikki Palmer announces her retirement. All right, so let's take a look at what's happened in the last couple of years. Ronan Dunn unceremoniously gone from Verizon. And then you had Tammy Irwin, who essentially is walking away from the company, assumed retirement. Manone was brought in, fired within the same year, unceremoniously. Sampath was elevated to business CEO. Then he gets moved pretty quickly to the consumer CEO. Kyle Malady goes from the chief technical officer, I believe, or the network president. He gets moved to business group CEO. Though there's been some movement. The people at Verizon have been there a long time, right? And they've enjoyed success, and these people are accomplished. So in Nikki's case, she's been there for like 30 some odd years. Like it's not like she's a spring chicken. All right, 33-year career at Verizon. She's retiring in July. It is rare these days to find that kind of career longevity with a single company, but I found it with Verizon, she stated on LinkedIn. I know what kept me here all these years. It was the opportunity to continuously learn and grow and work alongside the most talented people to bring the best tech to life with purpose. I feel lucky and grateful for this front row seat during this rise of the digital age. She's a winner. She sounds like a winner. She talks like a winner. She was there when Verizon was winning. She is GOAT. You gotta admit, man, the ladies at Verizon are an incredible strength of the company, because Tammy was well regarded and viewed as the best at what she does, right? Verizon Business Group was always a winner, and it was because of Tammy. And I get the impression the same sentiment from Nikki Palmer. Wide range of networking positions at Verizon throughout her career. In 2011, she was the operator's SVP of Global Network Ops and Engineering. Okay, so this is network chops here. Between 13 and 17, Palmer was the CTO, responsible for planning, engineering, building, and operating Verizon Wireless industry-leading voice and data networks. She also played a key role in the early adoption of Verizon's 5G strategy, including the operator's resilience on mmWave. Ms. Palmer, salute to you. When you're a part of the innovation, the networking prowess, the excellence, the standard of excellence that Verizon has always upheld their engineers, their employees, and themselves, what they've always done, it comes from the leadership, right? So she's part of that. So she's been the chief technology ambassador, the same time that Hans Vestberg, started working at the company. Joe Russo, now the chief of the Verizon's networking business. A little bit of movement within the company, some changing, and I think in this case there's no sour grapes here. You know what I mean? There's no trouble here. I think it's just the sun is setting, and 33 years. Oh, what up, Tana? What's going on, sir? Zero Cool says got to meet Nikki. She is one tough, resilient exec for sure. We got a congratulations to Nikki. She's an absolute trailblazer. Yep. I get the idea and the vibes that she's very well respected within the industry. These people are accomplished. Anybody does anything for 33 years. Like, folks, what have you done for 33 years? These people have worked as executives at telco for 33 years. It is crazy. Salute to her. All right, next story. We're chugging along. AT&T is upgrading the DFW Airport with private wireless public Wi-Fi. Ooh, let's see what this is about. You guys know I love my technology. All right, AT&T is going to make extensive upgrades to the wireless network at Dallas-Fort Worth, or DFW International Airport, in an agreement announced today. I think this is May 4th. Project includes the deployment of a private 5G network and a new public Wi-Fi network. So you got two parts there. The private 5G network will likely be for the employees. The operations at the airport, the all the things that go on from terminal to terminal, right? Those types of things. All the connectivity for, the IoTs within the airport and stuff like that. The public Wi-Fi is going to be for those that are going to be flying, people that are there within the facilities temporarily connecting to their flights. All right, so they're going two-sided with this. No surprise here that it's AT&T and Dallas Fort Worth International Airport, because this is their stomping grounds. This is basically AT&T Central. AT&T will invest $10 million in these upgrades. That is crazy money for one facility, although I would agree that it's a large facility and it requires the investment. The goal of the project: modernize, expand the airport's network, ability to support airport operations. Free public Wi-Fi will be upgraded from 800 to 1,000 access points. Now that's important. They're densifying the access points, which means you're going to have better quality signal wherever you are. And also the capacity will be better at all those given points. So whether you're getting yourself a concession, you're getting yourself something to drink or eat, maybe you're in a store or something, they'll have an access point in there. Possibly, you're just commuting, going from terminal to terminal, making your connections. You will be on a high quality Wi-Fi network if you so choose. Not everybody does public Wi-Fi, I get it. But just to know that you have it in your back pocket is good. Work begins this summer. Enhancements online by autumn. The airport has 168 gates and 5 terminals, spans 18,000 acres, the third largest airport size in the world. Damn. I did not know the DFW Airport was the third largest in the world. I figured it was one of the top 5 in the U.S. I did not know it was the top 3 in the world. That's wild. Let's see here. It says the private 5G network will support the increasing use of IoT, digitization of airport ops, goals to enhance reliability and security, reduce latency, increase capacity. Future use cases include real-time data analytics, enhanced communications with airport systems, enhanced ability to monitor and manage passenger traffic, security systems, and baggage handling. That's huge. Hopefully they can actually stop losing people's stuff. The platform will include indoor and outdoor spaces, parking lots, and runways. That's awesome. So your phone's actually going to work, even if you're in the plane before you take off, which is cool. If the network's congested on your cellular. That's awesome, man. This is really cool. In February 2021, AT&T and Boingo Wireless said in a press release they were working to deploy AT&T 5G Plus in 12 airports, including John F. Kennedy, LaGuardia, New York City, Chicago's O'Hare and Midway, and now Dallas Love Field Airport. All right, so AT&T is cooking. They're going to be connecting everybody and those fine folks at the DFW. I have been listening and watching, the network stuff for AT&T at airports because they've been doing a lot of millimeter wave. And that's huge, right? Because that's literally a cheat code for capacity. S Blue Tech says the San Jose airport is in need of millimeter wave. All carriers very congested. They're surprised they haven't rolled that out. I'm surprised too. Every single airport DAS system should have multiple capacity channels as support. There should be IDAS, there should be ODAS, there should be Wi-Fi, that's boosted with high capacity fiber circuits. There should be millimeter wave, there should be unlicensed spectrum put to good use. It's everything. Heathrow International is the biggest, I think. Maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, the airport situation is way underserved. Too many times people go to airports and struggle and deal with congestion issues. All right, let's transition to this next story, and this one is AT&T and Verizon based. Okay. AT&T fails to block Verizon's public safety advertising message. Oh, I didn't know this was a thing. Up, they're back at it. Carriers talking too much. The National Advertising Division, or NAD, part of the Better Business Bureau national program, there was a claim that Verizon is the number one network choice in public safety. That was made by Verizon in a commercial for Verizon Frontline. Verizon's Frontline is Verizon's dedicated wireless network solution for first responders and public safety personnel. Think about it like the FirstNet version, which is for AT&T, but for Verizon. So they call it Frontline. The NAD found that the challenge claim conveys a message that Verizon's Frontline product is chosen by more public safety agencies than comparable products of Verizon's competitors, like AT&T's FirstNet. The NAD was whether An issue for NAD was whether the challenge commercial also conveys the broader superiority message that Verizon's frontline product is superior to its competitors' offerings. It says, after considering the messages reasonably conveyed, NAD determined that the commercial did not convey such a message because it did not blur the basis of Verizon's number one choice claim with performance superiority. As a result, Verizon is the number one network choice in public safety, stands. All right. And Verizon is pleased with the decision. All right. So Verizon is literally saying we are the network of choice for frontliners and first responders. AT&T is probably not happy with that. Probably not. I didn't want to spend too much time on this. I just thought I'd throw that out there. I don't know. I don't know how much that matters to you guys. All right. Let's go ahead and get rid of those stories. We are cooking with gas, folks. Now for the good stuff. T-Mobile announces testing in their newest Spectrum assets. Way cool. What up, Jacob? Inside source confirmed tomorrow is the day for most of Mississippi with Verizon 5G. Glad for the folks in Mississippi. Cool stuff, man. All right, T-Mobile steers the 3.45 gigahertz test to the Seattle area. Let's see what this is about here. T-Mobile told the FCC last week that it wants to modify its experimental authorization so it can continue to conduct 3.45 gigahertz tests in Seattle. But it's no longer interested in doing 3.45 tests in Dallas, New York City, or Kansas City, Missouri markets where it was previously authorized. Maybe they finished testing there. They're ready to try some other cities. 3.45 gigahertz auction closed at the end of 2021, grossing almost $22 billion. AT&T, the big winner, taking home over 1,600 licenses and 406 licenses areas known as PEAs, or partial economic areas. T-Mobile also won a lot, 79 PEAs, 199 licenses. All right, since the grant of its application, T-Mobile discovered that its business needs no longer require it to conduct testing for the band. T-Mobile explained that unlike the other markets covered by its application, T-Mobile is not licensed to operate in the 3.45 gigahertz band in Seattle, where it wants to continue testing because its headquarters and testing lab are there. Yeah, they're in Bellevue. Plus, it's possible that in some point in the future, it would decide to acquire spectrum on the secondary market in Seattle. Okay, all right, folks. That's interesting. So basically, what they're saying here is T-Mobile did not actually successfully get licenses in 3.45 gigahertz in Seattle, but they want to see how it performs there, so they're testing it. They're probably just doing their due diligence. They're probably looking to possibly buy some from another carrier or holdings company, you know, to the tune of maybe 20 megahertz, to the tune of maybe 40 megahertz. Maybe the N41 is not enough and they know they're going to need more and they weren't able to get it there. Maybe they want to buy it from Dish. I don't know. Maybe Dish has licenses there. I know AT&T does, but they're not going to give it to T-Mobile. Right? They need that spectrum. Plans call for using about 9 base stations from Nokia, 15 handsets from various manufacturers. Grant of this request would serve the public interest because it would allow T-Mobile to continue experimenting as described in the initial application while reducing the geographic footprint of its experimental operations to only those areas required for testing. Okay, so they're going to go ahead and modify their STAs, their Spectrum Temporary Authorities. The filing says that no other operators using 3.45 gigahertz spectrum in the Seattle area will be adversely affected. Neither Whitewater Wireless, which holds the C block, nor AT&T, which holds the D block, has objected to T-Mobile's proposed testing. And they started testing in January. T-Mobile's proposed experimental operations in Seattle will overlap with Bremerton. That's an area where federal users remain in the 3.45 gigahertz band. So some of you guys may not know that, but one of the things about the 3.45 gigahertz frequency, while it is N77, like C-band, right? It's in those two frequencies. The 3.45 gigahertz is, there's a reason why they call it DoD spectrum. It's a DoD spectrum. So there's literally some power limitations and there's some neighboring usage in these frequencies. So it has its limitations with respect to things like naval bases and other DoD type operations. All right, so T-Mobile's testing. I don't know. This is good. This is good. Maybe they end up with spectrum there. They could use it. We know that T-Mobile's not going to really do millimeter waves substantially. And we know that they have yet to really embrace the grind of a small cell network build. That, you know, they could have all the plans they want and all that, blah, blah, blah. But we know that they are a macro cell site-based network, rooftops, macros. They need all the mid-band they can get. They need all the low-band they can get, right? So good for them, and I hope it works out for them. We'll see who they buy spectrum from. I think this is kind of something to be on the lookout for. Be on the lookout for either a lease with a holdings company or a purchase of 3.45 from another carrier. They're going to raise capital. They're going to need more spectrum because I guess they'd rather buy more spectrum than to just densify with small cells. I don't know. And we know they're not doing millimeter wave. But good to see they're taking their spectrum interest to the next level. All right, next story. T-Mobile claims an uplink carrier aggregation first. Okay. So they're doing something different that no other carrier has done before. How this differs from what AT&T announced. In case you guys missed it, we covered this story a couple weeks ago. AT&T, I guess, was doing 3 or 4 carrier aggregation on uplink or something. They achieved like 200 megabits per second. Huge, right? Millimeter wave has been able to do those types of speeds for a couple years now, so I'm not sure what the situation is there. Let's see here. Let's check out this announcement. T-Mobile, Nokia, Qualcomm employed carrier aggregation to make a data call with an uplink speed of 207 megabits on a live commercial standalone 5G network, according to the carrier. Despite the similarity to AT&T's news, T-Mobile claims this is a first. All right, let's read on. The test was made on a test smartphone fitted with a Snapdragon 5G modem RF system from Qualcomm. T-Mobile, which claims that the uplink speed was the fastest ever using sub-6 gigahertz spectrum, that's gigahertz, said it achieved similar speeds weeks earlier in the lab. All right, so what they mean by carrier aggregation is combining multiple channels together to increase the total bandwidth of the connection. T-Mobile was able to successfully connect multiple band aggregation, 2.5 gigahertz, and then the 1.9 gigahertz. Those are 2 different mid-band frequencies, so probably, N25 and N41. T-Mobile said it's going to begin rolling out that uplink carrier aggregation early next year. Okay, so that's exciting. We're going to start seeing some truly incredible throughput on the uplink side. So the T-Mobile news is similar to news that came out from AT&T recently, but a close reading of the 2 announcements reveals that while the AT&T achievement occurred in the lab, T-Mobile's achievement occurred on a commercial network. Combined with 207 megabits speed is apparently where T-Mobile is claiming a first. Okay, so there's your distinguishing factor. T-Mobile's putting it to use on a commercial network. AT&T's is in a lab. So, yeah, that means T-Mobile's very close to bringing it out to market and making it commercially available to you and me. So if you have access, if you got the phone that can do it and you've got the configurations on your tower sites, you'll be able to connect to it. AT&T is in lab testing. All right, let's see here. AT&T is testing a little different. They did it on a MediaTek chipset. AT&T used N5, which is low band, 850 megahertz, N77 C-band, achieving speeds of over 70 megabits on N5, 40 megahertz of N77, providing 120 megabits per second, and then 120 with N77 and N5. Okay, now I got it. 100 megahertz of N77. That's a lot of capacity, folks. According to Ulf Ewaldson, we're building the most advanced 5G network in the world, opening the door to massive innovation, laying the foundation for new capabilities that will transform the world around us. Cool. Gotta love the uplink speeds. And I don't know about you guys, but I think probably the most promising thing about this type of testing is how this is going to help fixed wireless access. We got to get these modems into the gateways. We got to see this type of throughput for the content creators, the live streamers. You ever run a speed test, and you get like 700 down and you get like 10 up, and you want to upload a video, maybe you're a YouTube content creator, or you're trying to upload, files to like your Dropbox or your Drive or whatever, Microsoft, what is their solution called? I forget. You need uplink capacity. So if you're getting like 100 or 200 megabit uplink, stuff uploads fast. This would be huge, I think, for the mobile uploader and then also the fixed wireless access subscriber. And of course, live streamers who need lots of uplink capacity. This is going to be huge, man. I love the sound of this. We've been waiting for uplink innovation for a while now, so hopefully we're getting it. Big shout out to Southwest Ohio Speed Testing, my guy. Hey, Sneed, great live. Listening while riding my bike. Keep up the great work. Hope to see T-Mobile keep rapidly deploying spectrum. They need to. Absolutely agree. They've got a lot of usage on their network. They've got mobile usage where they grow, right? T-Mobile customers use the most data. T-Mobile is the fastest growing carrier taking share. T-Mobile has fixed wireless access 5G home internet customers. They need to build out a denser network with more capacity, upgrading fiber circuits, putting more spectrum on air, densifying their tower grid. I still think they need to build out some small cells and some millimeter wave. I really do. Yeah, big shout out to S Blue Tech, who said this is bad news for big cable. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. But what T-Mobile has to do, and I hope they don't overlook this, and I hope they figure something out, we need gateways that can take advantage of this tech, that have this capability. The Nokia trash can and the Sage Cam, whatever, all these machines that that T-Mobile's been using, they're not the greatest. Some of them overheat. Some of them have really bad thermals. Some of them got bad firmware. I mean, stuff's just not reliable. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think T-Mobile's got to just get a better gateway solution for the home internet. And then I think that helps reduce some of that churn rate. I think T-Mobile's got some pretty nasty churn. One, I think the reps at the T-Mobile store are probably overselling it, right? And then they're kind of fandangling the address to make it qualify. I think that's part of it. And then I think some of the gateway issues just continue to be a problem. Zero Cool says some of the gateways get smashed by Carlos. Absolutely. He's done a number to them. Yeah, Chaim, that's an exciting development to see when Verizon and AT&T start combining N77 channels, right? And N48 too. Don't sleep on the CBRS piece for sure. Hey, appreciate you, Will, man. Thank you, bro. Thanks for all that you do, and appreciate all that you do, man. Thank you. Let's see here. What else? Got another story here. PSA, folks. Public service announcement to all the T-Mobile customers out there. T-Mobile's got new autopay terms of services. Those are changing. All right, this is dated from yesterday. We actually did a story on this previously, but just as a reminder to let you guys know what's going on. Earlier this year, there were reports that T-Mobile was going to stop giving the autopay discounts for customers who put a credit card on file. Okay, so that was rumor at the time. And even when I first reported it, when we saw the T-Mobile report that first reported it, I said, it doesn't happen until it's official, right? But the thing about the T-Mobile report and all these other websites that frequently, leak stories, they're always right. They're like 99.9% of the time right to the T. And even when they're wrong, they're just wrong about the timing. Eventually it happens. So now it's confirmed. If you go to the T-Mobile terms of service, you will see that there have been modifications. The modifications and changes will be made to T-Mobile's autopay discount. This reveals that existing customers who have enrolled in autopay using a credit card will get a 1-month grace period, but after that they're going to lose their autopay discount unless they switch the credit card that's on file to a debit card or a checking account. So if you want to leave a credit card for your autopay, you will only be doing it for your convenience. your credit card will not qualify you for an autopay discount. In order to get the autopay discount, you must have a debit card or checking account on file. You're probably asking why. Why is T-Mobile doing this? It's very, very simple, folks. Take it from a person who's in business, right? The family business. We've been dealing with credit cards and merchant services for years. The merchant services, when it comes to transactions, okay, so we're talking about banks, we're talking about MasterCard, Visa, American Express, Discover. They each have different fees associated with all these transactions. And then, to make matters even more complicated, your credit cards have point systems. Your points come from the businesses that you patronize. So the same businesses that you give your money to, you're essentially taking back with the points. Your merchants, your MasterCard, Visa, Discover, Amex, whatever, they're not giving you points. They're taking money from the businesses you support to give you quote-unquote points. So what T-Mobile is doing is they're dealing with their end. They have to pay the merchant fees associated with all these transactions. So they're like, to hell with this. Let's just force them on checking accounts and debit cards so we don't have to pay the credit card transaction fees. This is a profitability question. This is in the attempt to improve margins. Verizon did this. AT&T, if they haven't done it yet, they will. All companies have moved to this direction. In fact, there are businesses and companies right now who are adding and building in transactional fees into their prices so they don't have to sit there and take the brunt of all that pressure from the merchant services fees. T-Mobile is looking at this in a very simple way. How do we become more profitable? We don't want to pay these fees anymore. So we're going to force the move to make customers go away from credit cards and make them put in their checking account and or debit card because they can dip and dodge those fees. Oh, it doesn't stop there, folks. There's one more reason why T-Mobile did this. T-Mobile is guaranteed to get their money if you put in a debit card or checking account. There is no liability on their end if they get hacked. If your checking account or debit card gets put on the dark web, all the risk is on you. The same terms that protect you on credit cards are not afforded to you on checking accounts and debit cards. You are screwed. But Brian, on Verizon, you don't get the auto pay discount unless you use a debit card or a checking account. That's the whole thing. They're trying to avoid the fees that are associated with the merchant charges. I know how this shit works. So you're eliminating the liability. You're eliminating the fees. This is simply just a profitability move, enhancing and improving their margins. Yes, that is true, Chain. Verizon is $10 more expensive if you use credit card. If you want to take advantage of any auto pay discount, it must be a checking account on file or a debit card number on file. If it's credit card, you're not getting the auto pay discount. So as we see, you have T-Mobile moving like a carrier. This is why we simply cannot expect T-Mobile to continue to push this uncarrier narrative. It is just not true. The uncarrier wouldn't do this. This is going to create a pain point for T-Mobile customers who have likely had their credit card on file for years, taking advantage of an auto pay discount. Maybe the auto pay discount's like $10 a line, right? Or something like that. Like that's major. Now people are going to start looking for ways to work around this, right? Now people are going to start to like get like a refillable debit card that they just move money to every so often just so they can do this auto pay thing. I don't blame them. I don't blame people for doing this. Because here's the truth. You guys can clip this. You guys can you can make a YouTube short out of this. I don't really care. There is absolutely no way in hell I am giving T-Mobile my checking account number. No way in hell. T-Mobile's not getting my checking account number. They're not getting my debit card number. They get nothing. In fact, I don't recommend doing anything auto pay with T-Mobile, and I'll tell you why. T-Mobile incurs a data breach that impacts their customers essentially every few months. It is like clockwork. They have to be the most vulnerable telco I've ever seen. I get it. Telco operators get hacked. There are data breaches. It happens at every carrier. But literally every 10 weeks, something is discovered at T-Mobile. Literally every freaking quarter. So once in a while something happens at AT&T. Once in a while something happens at Verizon. Quarterly. At the same rate that T-Mobile does earnings conferences and earnings calls. They have a data breach. They just freaking had one. They freaking had one from like November to December or January. Now they just had another one in February and March. Are you freaking serious? Who the hell is going to give T-Mobile their credit card account information unless they had complete full protections from like Discover, Amex, or whoever, right? You got to have those good protections. Checking accounts don't have those protections. Some of them may have some protections, but they're not fully guaranteed. You're going to see your checking account's been depleted. Somebody bought a freaking Lexus with your freaking checking account, put a down payment on a car, financed a damn house. A checking account? Are you serious, man? It'll be emptied. Debit card works the same way. A debit card is essentially a scanning version of a checking account. No protections. No way, no how would I be putting a checking account number or debit card just to get an auto pay discount to get breached. Folks, you know what's crazy? This is the truth. And like I said, clip it if you want. T-Mobile actually doesn't get breached. You know who gets breached? T-Mobile customers. T-Mobile customers get screwed. T-Mobile doesn't get screwed. Mike Sievert's not the one getting hacked. Neville Ray's not getting hacked. Ulf Oodles and son or whatever, Thor Odinson, he's not getting hacked. You know, frickin' Masa's not getting hacked. Marcelo's not getting hacked. Eugene Sweaty Armpits ain't getting hacked. Those guys ain't getting hacked. Callie Field's not getting hacked. John Fryer's not getting hacked. The T-Mobile manager shaking his thong in the retail store is not getting hacked. You, the T-Mobile customer, you are getting hacked. It is your identity that is going to be stolen. It is your identity that's going to be used to buy a bunch of crap online and a bunch of stolen merchandise. It's you. You are screwed. It's the customer that pays the price. Nobody has any culpability at T-Mobile for any of these hacks. And they don't see people leaving because of it, so they're not going to all of a sudden just start to care. They don't give a damn. If the customers aren't leaving, then why would they change their ways? Why should they all of a sudden protect any information? I don't expect them to change. I'm not giving them my debit card. I wouldn't even give them my credit card. You are trying to save, $5-10 a month per line on auto pay, but somebody's going to freaking steal your identity. How's that worth it? How? I can't advise you to do this, folks. I really can't. It's very, very risky business. In fact, if I were you, I would make a dummy account just to qualify for the autopay discount. Just make a dummy account, and it's got just enough to cover that T-Mobile wireless bill. What else can you do? Find one of those like prepaid load up. Let's say your T-Mobile bill is like $109. You got like 2 lines and a watch or something, and a tablet or something. I don't know. Just make sure you always got $150 on there. Or make sure there's always $120 on there. And just transfer those funds from some other account or something. I don't know. You got Zelle or PayPal or I don't know. Whatever. There's just no freaking way that anyone should have to succumb to these breaches. Again, it's not T-Mobile being breached. In reality, it's the customers getting breached, and they don't give a damn. And it's a shame, because if the customers don't give a damn and don't care, they're apathetic. I mean, hell, we've had people on our live stream when we did the poll. They're apathetic. They're like, oh, I don't care. I already got breached in the Experian, and I already got breached in this and that. And they're just like apathetic to it. But if you haven't had your identity stolen, you don't want to, don't give in just for the discount. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Get yourself some kind of workaround, or just don't even auto pay. Just suck it up and do something else, Maybe consider the prepaid side. I don't know. Open up a prepaid account at T-Mobile. Name yourself Tony Stark, or name yourself, Bend Over, or whatever the kids used to say. They used to do all those funny names, right? Roger Podactor, Steve Rogers, Thor Odinson. Just name yourself. Open up an account as an Avenger, or Mando, last name Lorian. I don't know. Yeah, do it like that, Kazi. D's nuts, whatever. D, Z, nuts. No way, no how. You ain't get my debit card. You ain't get my checking account. To hell with that. All right, word to the wise. Tread lightly. That's the autopay stuff. All right, folks. That's it for the show. Thanks, everybody, for the super chats. I saw a bunch of donations. We had one from Southwest Ohio Speed Testing. Thank you for that, sir. Steven as well. And Pegasus Chronicle. Thank you guys for those super chats. Big shout out to everybody who bought me a coffee. I think there was a recent one from the homie David. Thank you, man. Appreciate you so very much, man. David always holding it down, supporting your homie, the SMT. Thank you, man. That one's for the medium roast. Yeah. Big shout out to the YouTube members. Everybody here in the live chat tonight chatting it up. Big shout out to my patrons for supporting the content here on the channel. You guys are the GOATs. Thank you for all that you do. Yeah, definitely, Trex. We'll be doing a live stream tomorrow. It'll be a panel live stream. I'll be sending out the link to everybody. Cipriani Tech, S Blue Tech, Bryant, Trex, MS, Kazi, David, Jose. Man, big shout out to my people, man. All my members, all my mods, hashtag mod squad. Did I miss anybody, man? I just want to make sure. I don't miss all my people. Baby Yoda, Will, Zero Cool. Thank you guys for all that you do supporting Blind G Tech in the house. Jacob, thank you. The brother Tana So Lit came through. Thank you, man. Oceanic Vibes in the house. Shout out to Mint Mobile. Absolutely. Use the partner link. Save money. You'll be supporting the channel as well. The homie Mike West came through. Appreciate you. Salute to Magic Mike West. I think that's everybody in the live chat. Y'all are absolutely tremendous, man. You guys have an excellent rest of the night. Don't forget to support us on Patreon if you want the additional content, exclusives, early access, all those goodies, the live streams, all those good things. YouTube memberships are open as well. Hashtag Mod Squad, hashtag 2Live Crew, hashtag Replay Crew, hashtag Ravioli Gang. Maybe you guys are eating dinner. But I'll let you guys go with that. Have an excellent rest of the night. Panel live stream tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that. We out this piece. And if you're still here, I know why. You stayed for this. Yeah!